Let's try again. Select scenario. Fall of Winterhome. Customize all medium. We're not doing this survival mode. Let's start. Should we skip it? I just saw this like 40 minutes ago.
To whoever is out there. If anyone.
And that'll get us closer to House of Healing too. Yeah,
know
you're right also, Peach.
that we were here.
Alright, so I think
We did our best.
the laws that are in
We, the survivors,
on the right side, I
doomed
think are
by our
fine
own
for now.
mistakes,
I think we kind of focus on the faith.
aware of the risks and the price to pay. We took our last chance.
I'm starting the camera real quick.
But
It's
we
getting all
failed.
wiggly. Alright, is it a little less wiggly now? Yeah. Alright, it's good now. Happens, took me some tries before I finished this scenario. Yeah. Yeah. I can see what you mean now. I mean, I haven't had this many restarts in any of the scenarios so far. I feel like we have some good potential choices that we can make though. I don't think it's impossible. It's definitely not. Restore the city. I don't actually remember getting that initial 15%. Was that something I had before? Public house is only going to feed into our hope, so I am definitely in favor of that. Food we need to get ahead of as fast as possible. That keeps happening. I click on this thing and the research comes out. Okay, so we're going to get some sawmill stuff. We need some coal. And let's put some people in the gathering posts there. Cookhouse, let's put 5 people in. What's over here? Medical post, yep. Hunter's hut. Okay. And the other coal. And steelworks, okay. And the other hunter's huts. So the snow pit, we're gonna build, boom, right here. I'm not gonna worry about the roads until after. Thanks, Nadia Kemi. And it's just so you can beat it. You want to play through it again? Play alongside Docile Peach. I'm still. So what do we say? We wanted to rush food. Maybe we do flying hunters first, so we can get ahead of the raw food. Faster gathering is kind of interesting, but I think getting ahead of the food, it's probably going to help save us in that little later section, that little micro section. So I'm thinking the order is going to be flying hunters, medical post, infirmary, level 4, infirmary checklist. I think that's our current trajectory here. I think that's our order of operations. I don't think any of this stuff is as critical as those things. I don't think we don't need to get rid of all the homes. We only need to get rid of all the homes within that 8-day timeline. So I don't think we actually need to hit that as hard as what we've kind of been doing. We don't need 2 scouts. I don't think that's worth our time. And this is much later stuff. Okay. I feel good about that path. Alright, let's do flying hunters first. And speaking of that, we can't afford anything right now. Probably shouldn't do the research first. We need to get our income rolling here. So let's get our gathering post here first. Let's put one here. There's already a route for it. And let's put one more down here. And let's go ahead and start destroying some of the roads. Alright, I'm trying to be hyper-focused now so that we don't block off any of these critical points here. Like out here. Okay. Okay. I was a little nervous about that one. This big swooping motion might cut off something over here. Let's see, this road is all connected, so we should be able to destroy everything that's inside of that. Yeah, I'm gonna do... Yeah, there's no buildings over there, so I'm gonna do up to there. Okay, so far so good. Okay. For a moment I forgot about the spider. Of course, the good old brain reminds me. Alright, we don't need any of these roads. Get out of here, roads. Give me spending power. Alright, so we have lots of wood now. Flying hunters, boom. Next, the first thing I want to do is research. A little misclick there. We're going to put it in the traditional spots. We're just becoming the traditional spots. We'll put 2 of them here. Actually, that might impede our gathering post position. No matter. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it, right? We can put one more down. I like the middle ones. Alright, what's gonna be the shortest? I think... Okay, cool. Everybody's all connected. Alright, so let's go ahead and start putting people in the medical post here. Alright. So there's nothing there yet. This is not functioning because storage is near capacity. Right. And we have our cookhouses randomly scattered about. Alright, let's go ahead and speed through the night. Level 3. Starting to build. 15 is when we can make more gathering posts. So let's go ahead and clear out, start clearing out some of the areas over here. Look at this road. Alright, so some of these finished, so let's go ahead and put people in here. Oh, alright, they're waiting for the coal to open up here. 40 and 20. Oh, that's so expensive. Let's see. How cold is everybody? Pretty cold, but we can't really do a lot about it. Not until we get a bit more steel. And then we can start putting steam hubs in, and we can start getting everybody up to a decent temperature, especially for this time. Turn on now. We can hit a few more people with the range for now. I definitely don't want to keep the range up. It just consumes way too much coal. Alright, so at least a few houses are feeling alright. Hopefully we can avoid the cold quest. The quest where they're like, hey, you need everybody's complaining about all the colds. People don't need to be so cold. Oh, well, you know. Trying our best here. Come on, guys. Alright. Everybody feeling nice and toasty. unnecessary use of coal. But I really don't want anybody to get sick. Alright, 5% left for our infirmary. First, oh no, the flying hunters. Alright, so now we're gonna do the medical path. Excuse me. Alright, hanger. Put our first one. Oh, we don't have enough wood. How many do we need? 40? Let's do a few more gathering posts, maybe 2. Make some of these critical points here. Snow pit, did it finish yet? Where's the thing? There it is. Alright, so it's done, so that means we can get rid of it over here. Oh, there's already 80 people in there. Okay. We do have a coal source. The game starts you off with 2, and we do have employees in there. We have some workers in there. We're still working on clearing out some of the debris before we can actually fit a little bit more. We could fit like one more in here. I don't want to commit to that just yet. I'm thinking when this opens up, we can put a gathering post. I want to kind of stick at least a few gathering posts within these kind of critical points here. A little fly buzzing around. Alright, so that road will help benefit 2 gathering post positions. Why is this taking so long to be deconstructed? Okay, 30 and 121. Put another gathering post, or do we kind of wait now? Yeah, alright, so that just finished, so we can put this one here. And I think that's okay for now. I think the rest of our staff needs to be the hunters, because this is the only food that we start with. So now we start saving up for hunter hangers. Let's go ahead and do danger speed level 3. Maximum speed. Uh-oh. Is this the cold? Yep, cold homes. Let's heat some homes. And Nadia Kemi, we are going to, when it gets closer, we're gonna hit this level 2. And we're gonna do overdrive ahead of time. We have lots of steel now. Thank you, game, for the reminder. Start placing these things around. So plop one right here, plop one right here, get one back here, put it right in the middle, get one over here, and get one in between all of these homes. Okay. And let's just get everybody over here. That was like the exact amount of steel to cover 95% of the population. Alright, so we still have a few engineers. Those engineers are going to be used for the infirmary. I don't want to pre-make the workshops. What was that for? Oh, there it is. Treat the gravely ill. One of our people is gravely ill. If you sign the radical treatment law, the gravely ill will be treated in medical posts, but may undergo risky amputations as a result. Alternatively, you might sign the sustained life law to keep them. This is a little bit different than the game we just came from. Laws aren't ready yet. Oh, they are ready. I just been ignoring the laws. The law's been available this entire time. I don't know if I want to do either of those. We didn't really need to before. I mean, we're kind of rushing for the infirmary. Is this kind of like a bad choice? Should we not do the House of Prayer first? I know we can't financially actually do it, resource-wise. Discontent will rise from this. Gravely ill will be treated in medical posts. Hope will rise slightly. 30% of the gravely ill treated in medical posts will be left as amputees. Discontent will rise slightly. It is a slight thing. Yeah. Care House is a next one, so we would have to select one of these before we even get Care House. But we didn't have to do any of this stuff before. Gravely ill will not be treated and remain a burden. The gravely ill will take up beds in the medical post. I definitely don't want to have any focus whatsoever on the factory. I mean, is this something we have to... I don't think this is... I think this is kind of like a red herring. We didn't need this before. If anything, we could use the House of Prayer. I don't think we're really ready to actually build the House of Prayer, but maybe we actually are, because we get 3 days to do it. I think you get 3 days. I think I remember it being 3 days. I want to do House of Prayer first, because I want to get to evening prayers sooner rather than later. I don't think we have to actually address the gravely ill just yet. I mean, we're addressing it in the research, really.
A new law has passed.
30 and 10. We can build the first one. Getting close to that first temperature drop. Almost have all the heating zones built. Okay, this number's going up. Okay, so we've hit it, and this one's up here. So we have the keep homes warm done, except for when the temperature drops. So we just have to do overdrive just before the temperature drops, and then move up to level 2. So this is the only thing that happens as a result of not rushing for medical. We don't get the infirmary earlier. It was kind of nice before, so I'm kind of curious to see what this number is going to reach. I think the highest number I saw in our last attempt was 30, and the last one, it was actually 23 with the gravely ill. Interesting, it's actually going to be up a little bit higher. I mean, I don't know why people are getting so sick through the night. Everyone's livable. It seems a little unfair. Burning a lot of coal. I think we need more gathering posts around the coal refineries. We have a little slot right there. What do we need? 5, right? 5 steel, 15 wood. Just need 5 steel. Let's turn this down to 1. Should have done that a while ago, actually. That will be one of the fixes if we fail this again. Alright, our first real death. First one is probably in here. People are desperate, so they're talking openly about overthrowing you. Must hold on for a couple more days. Alright, it's starting to blink. I'm gonna go to overdrive and hit level 2. Okay. So everybody, or most people are... That's the danger of the speed. Alright, we didn't fail keep homes warm. Alright, we're doing alright. We didn't fail the first quest. Well, we might, because we're gonna run out of coal in just a moment.
The work shift starts.
Oh, thank goodness, we just got a delivery. Did we just get a delivery? The timing. The timing of that. We're down to 100 coal. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was so close. If you're just joining us here, we are on our 3rd attempt. We just lost maybe 15 minutes ago. Our 2nd attempt, we were rushing medical, and now we're rushing food. Alright, so speaking of... kind of okay with coal right now. I really want to get ahead of food. I'm really, really worried about food. We need 40 steel. I don't think the timing is in our hands, so... I guess we'll build one more gathering post for coal here. I don't like that we went all the way down to 100. We have 8 hours left. Our consumption is far greater. Let's start turning off our workplace burners. As soon as I do that. Be very careful not to hit the Steam hubs so that we don't end up losing the quest. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Alright, I don't want chili though. It's my only restriction here. I think livable is perfectly fine right now. Oh, there's people trapped in a person trapped in the ruins. I missed that one. Oh, there we go. This is the quest. A voice in the ruins. Sir, people have heard a child's voice coming from the wreckage. A child has survived the terrible night of destruction when half of Winterhome burned. So many lives were lost in that blaze and fighting. We can't let this child die too. We have to help the child. 80, 48. Alright, so we can still build... we don't have a nice spot for this. Our last leader was so terrible with the road construction. I guess we can stick it right here. Let's stick it here. Okay, so this is gonna be our attempt to get into here. In the meantime, I think we're just gonna have to do the Hunter's Hangar. I don't want to destroy resources. Okay, there's our one Hunter's Hangar. Build this out and up. Build the next one right next to it. So our next research is going to be the infirmary. When we have some more, yeah. Building the gathering post wouldn't have made any difference. Let's see, the Hunter's Huts, or Hunter's Hangar. Let's actually not build the Hunter's Hangar. I think getting the infirmary is more important than building the Hunter's Hangar right now. I think the infirmary is a little bit more important. We need to get ahead of the gravely sick, or gravely ill. Alright. The storage is overfilled. Do we not have any gathering posts over here? We do have workers, so we definitely have a need for coal. We have plenty of workers to spare, just being overly cautious with our resource here. So we have a few gathering posts inside of the sort of core of ruins. Okay. This one finished. Alright, 36 minutes, and we have our scouty dudes. Alright, so we can't forget about our House of Prayer. Well, they're not scouty dudes, they're the coal people. Okay, so we have a reserve of 800 coal right there. So, actually, I think that's what ended up happening. They were waiting to actually be able to put stuff into the city. So right now we have 1,300 coal. Or 1,500 coal. Some math amount of coal. Divided in death. Sir, we've noticed that the dead in the snow pit have been divided into two heaps. One for the victims, one for the charred past. Let's get that charred past out of our city. Discontent will fall slightly. I think the game naturally allows us to not have any discontent, but what it does not let us do is build up hope. That's where the technical stuff comes in this expansion. Burns depleted. Good, good. Okay, so we have lots of resources now. I think now is when we build 1, 2 hunter hangars. I don't want to build a third just yet because we do have meals. I'm going to prioritize a few more gathering posts. Oh wait, Yeah, right, so the infirmary is going to be done in about 30%. So I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna hold off on building anything else because we need the infirmary like pronto. If we can get everybody in the hospital, the sooner we can get them back out of the hospital. Some ruins cleared. People have noticed our effort to clear the city of ruins, and they appreciate it. A lot remains to be done, of course, but Winterhome already seems to be breathing a little easier. Like I read that not very long ago. So if you didn't see before, our second playthrough was very quick. It was impressively quick. I was really impressed how quick it was, and it was not successful, to say the least. Here, all right, this is where we put the. This is reserved for the faith. So now we have both the infirmaries starting to be built. Let's go ahead and put in our first house of prayer, and we can afford our second. I think I want to hold off on our second until like a little bit in. Well, we do have the faith already. Okay, we have the 15% faith that we have to hit. So let's go ahead and just put the second one down. Let's build up, I suppose. Okay, so the next one. Next one I think is going to be level 4 here, so that we could do infirmary checklist, which will get people out faster, and then we will also be able to do the flying hunter gear, which will increase our food income. So we're going to actually kind of waste a little bit of our resources because we won't be able to actually upgrade this. Actually, not resources, but time. We won't be able to actually research anything for a little bit now. Do we have any need for engineers anywhere? I don't think so. Alright, this is our first steam core. We can't make them in the city, but we can find them out while scouting. I think this is a good time to actually create our scouts, since we're going to be waiting until tomorrow to build anything or for our next research anyway. It's already pretty late in the day. So I went up this way. I don't want to go that way this time. I almost want to rush food or rush steel. I like knowing where the coal mine is, and we have that coal income, which is great. But I kind of want to find the food sooner than later, and I think it's in this direction, the snow cliff direction. I don't think it's in the Dreadnought direction. I think it's the snow cliffs, because it's going to be the water springs. Alright, snow cliffs, away we go. Alright, so I hope they haven't been waiting for their job assignment for too long. Okay. Our food is doing okay. We're on top of it, at least. We can build a few more gathering posts if there's any new openings over here. There actually wasn't much of a... And by much, I mean there was actually 0 hope increase by saving that child. I wonder if that child plays a later role that could be important if we end up saving him. How many workers do we have? We have a lot, actually. Well, let's see. 15 here. It's actually 30, but 15 less here. So we have enough to do 2 more gathering posts, and it's pretty much it. Let's actually start the wall drill. This is also something we need to start earlier than later. I never drew a road for this thing. People were slogging through the snow. I don't know if that's a word for that, but people were just trudging through the snow. Yeah. And he's definitely waiting for us to have more storage. Yeah, I don't know. I can't justify the resource use right now for that. We need 140 for the next level. We could do faster gathering. It might be time for that before we do 4. It's better than waiting around. That probably would have been a good choice. Probably would have been a good earlier choice. Oh well. Alright, so now we have infirmaries that just finished. Okay. Also, Peach, why are you so surprised? Is it the storage thing? I'm aware of it. I'm trying to be very, very purposeful with how we spend our resources. I don't see... I mean, we're gonna have warmth coming up. I don't see our coal usage increasing yet. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Right now we're using up our resources pretty efficiently. We could stockpile stuff early, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But I also kind of want to clear out a little bit of the space, which I guess we do have an opportunity to throw at least one in. To your point here. Yeah, faster gathering I think will be good to kind of increase our rate. I think we hit our top things. We did our medical, we did the faith, and our hope is already halfway up. And notice we don't have any people who are sick. We're actually doing pretty well right now, I think. Famous last words, right? Knocking on the table. Knock on wood. If you're just joining us here, we are trying to survive. This is our third attempt here this evening. We're 2 days in. Not much time at all. The temperature is obviously a little bit lower, so it's going to be going up. We've kept our homes warm. Because thank you to our lovely chat room here for reminding me of keeping everybody warm when the temperature changes. Yeah, okay. Alright, so this is going pretty well. I think we're almost, yeah, this is our last gathering post. I'm kind of interested. I think at some point, when we start getting gathering posts that are cleared out, I think I want to start switching slowly our efforts to be towards the coal here. Because these things can't perform if the storage is full, obviously. And we need to start thinking about our income for coal. Because the next thing that's going to be happening is... we're going to be switching our outpost to either steel or we're going to keep it at coal, or we're going to go into raw food. And I think food it might be where we go until we have enough hunter things. It's just these guys, the flying hunter hanger things. That's not what it's called. It's called hunter hanger. They take up so many people. So if we use the outposts, we get more people. We get access to more people. Let's check in on our people here, because we're building up a little bit of sick. So the first infirmary is pretty full. And this one's about halfway through their customers, if you will. This one's got 2 openings. This one's got 0 openings. This one's got 0. So we're a little bit behind in the medical. So we're gonna have 5 people, I think, come out of here about halfway through the night. Let's go ahead and hit our sermons. Get ahead of that. We actually need to move some of our workers out. I think this is a good spot to go, because we have lots of wood and stuff like that. We could start like redistributing some of the people, maybe. So like this one's kind of gathering a lot of like random stuff here. It's not just coal. Food, yeah. I definitely don't want to take people out of here, the hunter hangers. We could upgrade some of these when we actually start having some resources to spend. We could take at least like one person out of these outside gathering posts, and then we can at least put a few people in here. I guess it doesn't really matter because they're all gathering wood anyway. Yeah, that's kind of a waste. Okay. Let's not fiddle about here. Scouts have reached the snow cliff. Alright, so near the base of the cliff, some dark forms are visible, buried deep under the snow. Ice and snow. Oh, a steam core. Let's explore. Mysterious finds. Several huge crates are buried here, exactly like the ones used to protect steam cores during transports. We'll dig them out. Dig out the steam cores. Sweet. Alright, so freshwater springs. Look at that. We've rushed food. We're not going to be ready to do food immediately because we have so many more buildings to get rid of here. Speaking of food, we're gonna have a decent income coming in. So we're doing faster gathering. Once that is done, I think the next thing we do is this difference engine so that we can do flying hunter's gear. We could also just switch immediately to the outpost, but we don't have a setup for coal just yet. Hey, Kreko 18, you can use hunters during the day. Not sure if you're aware of that. Join later. Oh, no worries. We've played through the main campaign, TLA, and this one is our third attempt on this expansion here. Welcome to the channel, first of all. We have a lovely group of people in our chat. You're welcome to, you know, participate in there if you like. And yeah, so they only work during the day, of course. It's like a regular working thing. But they actually, hunter hangars actually don't, they actually work on a 24-hour schedule. So every 24 hours, or yeah, there you go, every 12 hours they go out and get food. Hunters usually take 12 hours, so every 9 hours they go out for 12 hours to get food. So I don't think they actually are dependent on the timeline, like day versus night. I think that's like regular worker places. What are we doing with, okay. We're out of workers. Alright, so how do we prioritize right now? We have some raw food coming in. Thank you, Dis626, but if you don't mind not doing advertisements on the channel, I appreciate that. Probably a bot or something. Alright. So this guy, nothing in range. Alright, so that's 10 people now available to us. Oh, Book of Laws have opened up. That hasn't been sitting there. Evening prayers, candlelit dinners as I like to call them, I think is going to be more important than shrines. So let's go ahead and do evening prayers.
Listen, everyone.
So we have 10 people. Let's go ahead and put 3 in there. I don't think we can afford the hangers yet. I think we need to start switching over to preparing for coal stuff, coal income. So at least right now, these gathering posts will help with both gathering coal and gathering the resources around it. But we can start switching some of the gathering posts from building centric or building focused to coal focused. I think the remainder number of gatherers are probably going to be kind of moved around inside of our derelict city here. The working time is between 1800 to 6. Oh yeah, you're right. So I assume that they were free during that day. Okay, so yeah, they're closed at this time of day. They are. I am really bad at micromanaging though. That's true. I mean, the game has caught me before. At Crick, the game has caught me before with like moving people around based on their schedules. I feel like the game might get mad. Oh my god, look at this timing here. Oh my god. Is this gonna get here in time? Oops. Is this shipment gonna get here in time? We have less than an hour. We might fail keep homes warm. They got 29 minutes. I paused. I can't even deal with that right now. So difference machine, is this the next thing that we go here? Yeah, Kriko, I'm super bad at micromanaging. It's a bigger risk taking them out, having them do some other stuff, and then putting them back in. Knowing me, I'm gonna end up like forgetting about it, and then we're just never gonna have any food. The temple after next evening prayers raises hope and lowers discontent, but it costs food, Nadia says Nadia Kemi. Thanks for understanding, Kriko. I've already caught myself doing that so many times as it is. And that has been like the source of some of my failures. Okay. So gathering post installation. Alright, so I think infirmary checklist and flying hunter's gear. I think flying hunter's gear kind of first, just because we don't have a lot of sick people at the moment, so maybe we can put off infirmary checklist. But I think flying hunter gear is going to be important for our food coal transition. If we can get ahead of the food, then maybe we won't have to transition to food so soon. It buys us a little bit of extra time for coal gathering. It's my justification, at least. Alright. So we have lots of buildings clearing up in here. Do we have any more workers? We have 7 workers. Alright, so this one, there's still plenty of stuff. Our coal is almost capped out. This group is not going to get here for another day. Excuse me. Okay. Let's go ahead and put on our evening prayers. Hope rises, hope restored. Okay, so now we just finished our minimum requirement, and that's how we actually lost right there in our second attempt. We didn't even make the 15%, and I think the candle at dinner was absolutely critical for us to meet that requirement. That was actually on yellow. This was so close. We almost ran out of coal. We were minutes away from no coal. Oh my goodness. Alright, we have 2 sick, but we have 4 openings, so no worries. Are there more optimal positions for the gathering post at this point? See, there's one here, one up here. I don't think so. All the buildings over here are pretty much cared for. We don't have any workers at the moment available, so I think from this point on, the existing gatherers are just going to be kind of moved around. I don't think we can really take anybody off of coal gathering. We're getting so close to not having any coal as it is. I like seeing this go down. Oh man, we haven't been that low in sickness in quite some time. Things are looking up here. Oh, this one's done now. Most ruins cleared. Most of the charred skeletons of houses that marred Winterhome are gone. The countless hours of toil put into their removal paid off. People are no longer constantly reminded of the night of terror and chaos. Hope will rise slightly. Very slightly. Alright, so this one, near capacity. Alright, so wood is full. And we didn't preemptively build resource depot because we're, yeah. Okay, so let's put them over here. Let's rush, like, I don't know. Let's just build this many. Let's build 3. So that should get us under a little bit, so that shouldn't block our progress for getting rid of these little places. Okay, what else can we do to use up some wood and whatnot? We don't have any people, so we can't build any more hunter things. We can start preemptively, like, building. We have engineers. We have 1 engineer. We could build. Yeah, I think we're okay with medical right now. Man, rushing medical after food was like just in time. Nobody's hungry at the moment. All right. The scouts have reached Freshwater Springs. This is the food outpost. Nice. Several pools are kept from freezing by springs gushing from the fissures on the rocky bottom. There are plenty of fish in the water. Let's explore. Unexpected bounty. Flashes of silver shimmer from the fish as they dart between submerged boulders, nibbling algae from them. A reminder of a greater past of this place. We don't know what species they are, but fresh fish would be a welcome addition to our menu. Let's take 100 food resources. And we are not going to build a outpost here. We're going to maintain coal because we obviously do not have enough income on coal without the existing location. But we are going to send them back home. My big objective here was to find the food source, because that is my plan to switch over, is to the food resource. Okay, so we're hitting some of our early beats here that we're looking for. We have 7 days left to hit 50% hope. We have candlelit dinners and sermons available to us. What will be the next? I believe it's going to be the temple, yes. We will build a beneficent testament to the devotion of our people. It will kindle hope in the hearts of the faithful and sway the doubts. Rebuilding the temple raises hope. Discontent will occasionally fall slightly. Ceremonial service raises hope and comforts the discontent. We'll have to build the temple. It's not too expensive, and it only costs 20 food rations. Okay, so we have our resource things built. All right. I think we're just kind of. I think we've made a lot of the good decisions here. It's a little bit of a waiting game. The hunger is starting to set in. Let's check in. When are we going to get that food in? Once the city is cleaner, you can have more coal sources, and you have, and then you can have the food outpost. Yeah, we're gonna be putting in gathering posts all over the place. I think in our first playthrough before we failed, I think we actually had a pretty good coal resource. We were able to actually switch off of it and go into steel and food and all that. I think the next thing we're going to research is going to be additional food from these. And this should help with the food. We also have 100 food coming in, which is probably going to be coming at a perfect time. The rebirth of faith. Sir, people have started to visit the house of prayer. There aren't many of them yet, but it might be a start of something special. It seems they really need a proper place of worship. I'm glad to hear it. Are we gonna be able to get to the boy over here? This gathering post is done. That wasn't timed too well. Kind of wish I realized that was available. So we don't have to actually pick any of this stuff yet. Nothing is close again. We can kind of hold off on that choice. We do have more workers are going to go into here. We can put 3 of them in here for now. Okay, so we have 7. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and put a gathering post down here. So we can kind of get ahead of each of the clearing kind of promise here, or the process here. We promised the warmth, we got the warmth, we got the hope. Oh yes. We have hit every hope milestone. This has been, so far I think this has been a really, really, really good, it's been really good. How is this expedition? It worries me that they're not coming yet. We have 6 hours. And we have no way of extending any of the timeline for like the gathering posts or anything. I think we're gonna run out of coal. At least we got the award. Every slightly rises counts, yeah. Slightly rises. Not major milestones, just very slight. Alright, the warmth is gonna hit, we're gonna get a little bit of hope, and when we do run out of coal, it wouldn't have come at a better time. Let's actually go down to 1, and everybody's gonna be a little chilly. I think chilly is better than cold. Because if the generator crashes before the heat comes, we're gonna be pretty cold. We don't have people, right? Oh, we have 7. This one just finished though. So let's take the 3 out of here. 1, 2, oh, excuse me, game. Krakow, I just told you I'm really bad at micromanaging, and there you go. I just remembered them, showing that I'm not that bad. I just have 0 confidence in my micromanaging. Stone ship. Should we go a different direction? I mean, I'm happy with these 2 outposts. I know there's a steel one out here. I think it's past a weather station. I think the steel one is over here. I don't remember going out in this direction, though. The interesting story path was kind of in this direction. We could always make another group. How did we... I guess a gathering post. We didn't need as many gathering posts or something. There's a lot of amputees. Okay, I was just thinking, like, but the first time we were playing through this, we had 2 scouts running around, and that's 30 people. It's just, like, so many people. Like, right now, I can't spare a single person. Just, like, I'm trying to remember what had happened to all of them. Let's go with this direction. Stone ship. I'm kind of curious if there's more stuff out here. I kind of feel like I remember there not being anything out here, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, we have not employed a child. We haven't employed a child yet. We're almost done with our next tier research. Let's go ahead and do the speed 3 danger. Boom, look at that. Look at that timing. We had less than an hour. We had less than an hour left before the heat hits. Oh my goodness, that couldn't have been timed any better. Give it a few more days. Yep. Alright, so now we're gonna... Our generator's gonna die, but...
Going. Time to earn your bread.
Oh. Work's gonna start, so the generator's not gonna die. Wow, look how close we are! Wait, that's twice now. We were so close to the generator being shut down. And it hasn't happened yet. Alright, so let's take a gander. All of our buildings are covered, except for these over here. We don't really have a lot of people to spare, though. I'm pretty happy with this coverage right now. We could put another one in here. It's like a targeted thing once this one's cleared out. We kind of rebuild some of these buildings here so they're available. So much hope. Don't jinx it, Docile Peach. Don't jinx that. Alright. I'm so happy with the health, though. Look at our health situation. We actually have 7 slots open for healing. That I'm kind of blown away with. So the order, in case like anybody's interested here, the order that we've done so far in research is the Flying Hunters, Medical Post Upgrade, Infirmary, Gathering, Faster Gathering, and then Tier 4. That's been our path so far. So now I'm thinking Flying Hunters gear. Our food situation is a result of our scouts coming in with 100 food. So that's why our food situation seems to be okay. So this will help us get ahead of it once again. And I think after that, we're gonna do hunting tactics so we can get some people back, as long as our health is okay. This is kind of like our oh crud button here with the research here for infirmary checklists. I do want to keep an eye on house redesign, because I do want to start building people's houses up, like over time. So I just know, here it is, we have 2 level drop right here. The houses are so much easier to care for people. Okay, so 800 more coal coming in. Let's go ahead and preemptively increase our coal capacity. Alright, cool. So, this gathering post is open. And we do have another post right here, ready to go. Let's go ahead and put that 10 in there. And on that note, let's put another gathering post right over here, in range of the steam hub. And this will get that last little building over here. So this building I notice is not in range. Let's see, when we destroy a gathering post, how much material are we wasting? 3 wood and 1 steel? So it's 15. And 12, yeah, so 3 wood. So I think I'm happy with moving this gathering post over by 1. So when this one finishes, I'm just going to switch people over so that we can get the last building over here, just to kind of optimize our timeline here.